All right. This is our presentation on normalized homophobia in schools. My name is Blake Coleman.
My name is Taylor Burnside.
My name is Lauren Palmbar.
My name is Luca Arroyo.
Today we'll be discussing what is homophobia, what's the intent of homophobia, how it relates to the target population and our issue, and what's the purpose and focus of this project. So homophobia is the culturally produced fear of or prejudice against gay people that sometimes manifests itself in legal restrictions or, in extreme cases, bullying or even violence against the gay community. The intent of homophobia is to bully, harass, or cause harm to people in the gay community. Homophobia is a very prevalent issue throughout the education system that affects students on every level. Not only are they mentally impacted through internalized homophobia, not feeling valid, etc., but they are physically impacted in certain cases of bullying and harassment. Through the materials that are taught in schools to the homophobic language used in schools, normalized homophobia is a constant theme throughout the schooling system that needs to be addressed. Today, we will be looking at normalized homophobia within the education system, what that looks like, how it affects the students who experience it, and solutions to aid in stopping homophobic culture in schools.
So some key definitions regarding homophobia is homophobia itself, which is the irrational fear or aversion to or discrimination against homosexuality or homosexuals. Internalized homophobia represents the gay person's direction of negative social attitudes towards the self. Inclusive spaces, which are places that include everyone, especially allowing and accommodating people that have historically been excluded, whether it be race, gender, sexuality, or ability. Representation is the action or fact of one person standing for another so as to have the rights and obligations of the person represented. Heteronormative, of, relating to, or based on the attitude that heterosexuality is the only normal and natural expression of sexuality. Privilege, which is the right or immunity granted as a peculiar benefit, advantage, or favor. Oppression, which is unjust or cruel exercise of authority or power, in this case against homosexuals. Agent identities are the members of dominant social groups privileged by birth or acquisition who knowingly or unknowingly exploit and reap unfair advantage over members of the target groups. And then there's the target identities, which are the members of social identity groups who are discriminated against, marginalized, disenfranchised, oppressed, and exploited by an oppressor and oppressor system of institutions without identity apart from the target group and compartmentalized in defined roles.
So here's a little bit of background information. So 80% of gay youth reported being verbally harassed at schools, and 64% of these gay youth reported feeling unsafe in these school environments. And gay teens find that they find little support or none at home. And then due to overwhelming heteronormative society we live in, homophobia is often normalized, causing the development of internalized homophobia in people that identify with the LGBTQ plus community. And LGBTQ plus teens are the most at-risk group in high school today.
Our contemporary example is from a survey that was done with 4,000 high school students. From those 4,000 students, 22% of them said, 22% of the gay students said they skipped school in the last month because they had felt unsafe at school. And 31% said that they had been threatened or injured within the past year. And then in the Des Moines area, they found that high schoolers would hear and receive about 25 anti-gay remarks every day.
And for a resolution, I have a quote that kind of sums up our whole idea by Andrew Lordy. It says, "If we wait until we are not afraid to speak, we'll be speaking from our graves." And then the three resolutions our group came up with to solve this problem would be creating inclusive spaces for LGBTQ plus students at schools. By this, we're basically creating a safe space for students to feel safe, because I feel like every student should have this opportunity, but gay students or this opportunity is kind of taken away from them for just being who they are. And then also educating parents and changing how parents view LGBTQ plus. With a lot of LGBTQ students and kids, they don't get support from family members, and family members are usually the root cause of like their pain and suffering. So educating these parents will hopefully help them like get over this problem. And then also is changing how schools view LGBTQ. With some schools, I know that teachers will just avoid the problem or won't draw attention to it when they need to like be like the group, I don't know, the root solver for this problem, because students spend most of their time at school. So if they don't feel safe in the spot that they spend most of their time, then where will they go? I don't know. And these are our sources.